everybody. Welcome to another episode, All Things Considered Franchising, powered by ScottMilasFranchiseCoach.com. Another episode here of Rapid Fire Questions. I have my right-hand marketing person, president, founder of Market Momentum. Been with her for over 4 or 5 years now. I lose track. So we again have come up with a series of questions that typically come up during a consultation process, or people that are interested in learning more about business ownership, investing in a franchise. Wendi, welcome, and I am ready to go.
Well, thank you. We've got 6 questions today. They're kind of all over the board, so I hope you're ready. And here we go. Number 1, I have researched a franchise extensively, and I'm pretty sure it's the way that I want to go. Why would I still use a franchise consultant?
Wendi, great question, and I have to say I probably get this call once or twice a week. And I think it's great that you've gotten to a point where you're ready to make that validated decision. And I use the word validated decision. So when I typically get these calls, I will just kind of ask some questions back to that person that's calling me. Have you done all, kind of check the boxes. Have you done all your research? Have you spoken to franchisees? Have you spoken to a franchise attorney? And really kind of help dot the I's and cross the T's, and then also ask them why they think this is a best fit for them. Just kind of walk it through. I mean, I respect any decision anyone comes up with, but it's just kind of that insurance policy for someone to get or receive without any costs associated with it, to make sure that they are making the right validated decision.
Okay, good. Okay, number 2, what if I am not ready to leave my job yet? Is there something I can invest in that is part-time?
This is probably the big elephant in the room question. This is the one I get all the time. There are what we call semi-absentee type businesses. There are passive businesses, meaning no owner-operator needed. But in regards to your question, should you leave your job right away to open a business? No. Stick with what you're doing. Start to educate yourself and work yourself through the process. Are there businesses out there where you could potentially keep your job and open a business? Yes. There are businesses, what we call discretionary income, where you're putting in 5 to 10 hours a week. There are the passive businesses where you put 1 to 2 hours a week in. But again, it all depends on what your short and long-term goals are, and more importantly, or as importantly, I should say, what your eventual exit strategy is if you do want to leave a position. So in other words, what I'm saying is if your goal is to eventually leave corporate America, you need to have a business that you've built up that's going to be able to support what you're leaving. If you're entering into a discretionary business, you may not have the income to be able to leave. So again, there's a lot of moving parts to that question, but the immediate answer is I don't encourage anyone just to pack up and leave until you've done your due diligence and educated yourself on why you're doing this.
Yeah, that could be scary. So then that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Number 3, from the first time I talk with you, how long does it typically take to complete the process of investing in a franchise?
I am certainly not in a hurry. My process and services and guidance and education that I provide is all about you. It has nothing to do about me. I certainly don't encourage anyone to be in a rush. I would say if you really want to put a time stamp on it, it's going to take a minimum of 60 days and can go as long as 180 days to validate that decision. I mean, you got to figure 1 to 2 hours a week. Life gets in the way sometimes during the week, so we push things out. There's the 1 to 2 hours a week on the brand side or the brands that you're talking with. So again, I would say anywhere from 60 to 120, as long as 180 days.
Okay. Number 4, do your consultation fees get added into my startup cost with the franchisor?
Yeah, this is a good question because there's still a lot of people out there that scratch the back of their head and are going, how do you do this for nothing? I mean, how do you provide all this guidance, education, expertise, advice, and not get compensated? I am compensated by the franchisors that I represent. they pay me a fee to help them find potentially people like yourself. So the answer to your question is no. There are no up-end costs on the other side included in the franchise fee or additional to the franchise fee for my services. It's the same thing, as if someone was selling a house and you're using a realtor. That realtor is getting paid by the seller. So it's not being paid by the buyer. So there's no additional charges or whatever. So the answer to the question is no. There are no additional charges, add-ons for using a consulting service like myself.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Number 5, once I start talking to franchisors, are you on those calls with? I'm writing this as if I'm a prospect for you. Are you on these calls with me, or am I by myself?
Typically, if asked and needed, I would be on the first or second call.
Okay.
After that, I think it's important that you channel your energies and handle these calls yourself to start building confidence. I am always following up one or two calls a week with my clients based on the franchisor, your call with the franchisor, the brands, making sure you're asking the right questions, kind of maybe help you with any roadblocks or things that you may be confused on. But initially, I can be on the first call, possibly the second call. But again, it's really a choice. But again, you should be comfortable at some point after the first call or second call that you're going to do these calls by yourself.
Okay. Now here's the last one. This one's on a little bit different subject. If I want to turn my business into a franchise, can you help me?
Absolutely. I have a strategic partnership with someone I've been working with for a long time that helps people franchise their business. Now, what are the aspects of franchising your business? One, your business has to be operating in most cases. That's typically the best way to look at it. And it needs to be profitable. So eventually you're going to have to be able to show numbers. Okay. Typically, if you have more than one location, that helps too, but it's not necessary. The big model here, Wendi, is that it's very easy to franchise your business today. It was complicated if you go back 10, 15, 20 years ago. It was very complicated and very costly. Franchising your business has been streamlined. It's almost a template now. So to get your business actually be a legal franchise is easy as far as the costs are low and the paperwork. The hard part is, and this is where my strategic partnership comes into play, is that it's important to not only get your franchise opened correctly legally, but you also need the back end and someone that's going to be able to help you on the development side and the operational side. So once you do find someone that wants to invest in the franchise your business that you franchise, you've got to be able to be in a position to support them, get them open, provide them training. So it's not just simply franchising your business. There's operational manuals. If your business requires a brick and mortar location, it's finding the location, negotiating the lease, and of course, managing or supporting the franchisees. So it's like I said, the easy part is getting the business franchised. The hard part is finding franchises, everything else. Exactly. Yeah. So
well, good. Those are all the questions that I have that have come in for today. So
well, that's great, Wendi. Hey, if anybody ever has any marketing questions or looking for some ideas on marketing, please reach out to Wendi Hill, president, founder of Market Momentum. I am Scotty Milas, again, podcast host and founder of All Things Considered Franchising, powered by ScottMilasFranchiseCoach.com. We are a consulting organization that helps people kind of build that business model and introduce them to the business opportunities that potentially fit, helping them through the process, again, to validate their decision. And your decision may be no, and that's okay, because you'd rather find out now than after you've spent all that money and realize that you potentially have made a mistake. So this is Scotty Milas. Until next time, we'll catch you on the rebound.